Hi there, this is Tracy with Totally Traced. I am live. I'm going to be doing my monthly free card class today. I am so thankful to all of you who are joining me either live right now or watching the replay. I have to say I can't tell you how much I love crafting, and I'm sorry if this sounds cliche, but this week has been a little stressful at work. A little bit for me, but mostly I'm feeling it for my kiddos. It's state testing time, and there's so much pressure put on these kids to perform well, and then therefore it's pressure on me for them to perform well. And I normally get up an hour and a half before I have to start getting ready for work, just to kind of get ready for work. I check emails, I make sure my lesson plans are all set, all my supplies are ready. And this morning I was like, nope, not gonna do it. I'm gonna go into the craft room and I'm gonna make a card. And it felt so amazing. Hi, Kathy, I'm glad you could join me today. It felt so amazing to do that this morning. And then all day today, I was like, oh, when I get home, I get to craft again. And then also, every time that I do my free card class, my team meets afterwards on a Facebook Live private group. And so I'm looking forward to that. When I'm done with you guys, I'm going to go do that, and I'm going to get inspiration. I'm going to watch other demonstrators demonstrate cards, have some chance for some prizes. So like I said, I'm very happy to be here today doing this. So what I have for you is these are the measurements. So if you are on my email list, then you already received these, or if you're a Facebook follower, hopefully you've seen these, but this is the measurements I'm going to use. I'm going to use a traditional card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to score it at 4.25. And sorry, just getting my sound turned off on my computer so I'm not echoing here. Then you're going to need some cardstock that is coordinating but contrasting, if that makes sense. Like the colors need to look good together, but you want this to be a little bit of a pop. And that piece needs to be 4 3 1/8. And then you're going to need 2 different designer series papers that coordinate with one another and your cardstock so far that you have. And those are 3 7/8 by 3, and then 1 3/4 by 5.5. So if this is your first time joining me on my free card class, what I do is I do one template, but I make 4 different cards using 4 completely different papers and stamps and embellishments. And my hope is that you will make a card using the same template with whatever supplies you have, because I really do try and make it a very simple template that you can use with anything that you have. And then, of course, if you like the cards that I made and you want that kit, I send that to you for free when you place a $35 order in my store. And I have the link in the comments if you would like to do that. All right, so, and then, of course, I just have the annual catalog because, yay, it's here. And almost everything I'm using tonight is from the new annual catalog or the new online exclusives. So I'm going to get started with my first card. I'll leave that there so you can screenshot it if you need to, take a picture. All right, so my first card I am using, I think it's called Floral Impressions. This is a brand new paper. It's gorgeous. I only got the paper. It's part of a suite. It has a stamp set and dies that go with it, which I did not purchase because I thought, do I really need more flowers? But I think I might need more flowers and have to get it. It's a problem that I have. So, and then here is the back side of that paper. So this is what I'm using on my first card. And I actually use this paper. It's just so pretty and different colors for me. So I am using a Peach Parfait card base. So again, 5.5 by 8.5, and then I just scored it at 4.25. And did I say, is it Peach Parfait or Peach Pie? Whichever one it is, that's the one I'm using. It's a current color. It's not one of the older ones. Hi, Lorraine. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll be crafting along with me. So this is the 1 3/4 by 5.5, and that is going to get glued across your card like that. Right before my live started, I thought, oh, I better make sure I have glues and dimensionals, so I stocked up in case these run out on me. So I mentioned how I'm excited to have my team meeting right after this today. Stampin' Up! Is doing an amazing sale right now for the starter kit. So the starter kit is always an amazing deal because of everything that it comes with. But right now they're adding more to it. So it's $99, which is always the price. And you normally can pick $125 worth of free products. Right now it's $165 and you get one free paper pumpkin. There's no shipping on it, which normally you pay 11% shipping. And then as a demonstrator, you get at least 20% off all your future orders, and there's no catch to it. Like, you sign up, and if you say, you know what, you'll automatically be signed up through October. And if you never buy anything again, you're fine. And then if you meet your minimums, you can continue being a demonstrator past that. So if that's something you're interested in, I would love for you to join my team, because even though the discount's amazing, the best part about it is all these team meetings that I get to be a part of. All right, so this is another sheet of paper from that, and this one is 3 7/8 by 3, and then I've got the new Secret Sky 4 by 3 1/8, which I don't know, I didn't think I was gonna like that paper, and that or Cloud Cover might be my favorite. I'm finding that the Secret Sky goes with everything. I almost want it to be a new neutral that we always have. And then this is the Secret Sky and Cloud Cover together. But I mean, even look, Strawberry Slush with it. Yeah, it's a great color. So I'm just putting it on a frame that's only 1/8 of an inch bigger. I've got cameras and lights all in front of me, so hopefully that's lined up. I'll look at my camera. Yep, looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to glue that into the center. Okay, so this is the basic template. It's as simple as that. Like I said, whenever I do this monthly free card class, I'm trying to give you a super easy template that you can copy with anything. So now I'm going to add a sentiment to it, and I'm going to use Beautiful Motifs. This has some amazing dies, which I'll show to you in a second, but really, I really like the sentiments too, and I feel like, I mean, let's be real, I have a million stamps, but I always feel like I don't have the right sentiment or the right stamp or the right flower. So this was, I felt like a new addition. I definitely needed some more stamps. And then this is, I just die cut this from the Stylish Shapes. I did that in advance so that you didn't have to watch me die cut. I say it every time, but if you only have one set of dies, Stylish Shapes needs to be it. I use it for everything. It comes with, oh, and you know what? I'm lying. This isn't Stylish Shapes, but I swear by Stylish Shapes. This is the new Notes of Nature. Oh boy, let me look. Textured Notes. I was close. So it has all these different rectangle frames, and they all have different stitching. So I'm using that smallest one. So that's where that came from. All right, so I'm gonna use Thank You for Everything. And while I'm getting that mounted, I'll just show you, like, look at the dies that come in that. Right, you can never have too many sprigs. As I just told you, like, I have millions of everything, but I still stand by it. All right, and then I've got my Secret C, new in color. So I'm just gonna stamp that right in the middle. Actually, I'm gonna stamp it off to the left because I'm going to use a sprig. So back to these dies. Ooh, that one's falling off because I've used it the most. And so check out what it does. Like, look how dainty that is and how detailed. Love it. So again, this is coming from Beautiful Motifs. It's actually part of a super suite, and I did get the whole super suite because I love it. All right, and then your sentiment can go anywhere. I think I'm gonna do mine just like that. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on the back here. And so when I'm doing that, wherever branches meet, that's where I put my glue. And I just do a little tiny dot. And then I just kind of spread it. And it doesn't take much, so you really don't need a lot of glue to do this. Just a steady hand. Okay, so then I'm just gonna lay that here. And then my sentiment, just as a way to get that to anchor more, which I've never had a problem with the green glue. I mean, if you've used it, you know it sticks to everything, including you. So I'm just gonna put that there. So that's just another piece. And then, oh look, that's not what I wanted to do. Just kidding, because I wanted it to be here. Okay. Let's see if I can fix this without ruining it. Oh, I broke a branch. Okay, nobody's gonna know. Shh, don't tell. So I'll put that back there. We're live, everybody. Okay, so now I just want my glue in that section. All right, so I see some of you popping in, popping out. I would love to know where you're watching from. Would love to know if you're new to this free card class, or maybe you've joined me before. Okay, he's a really fragile branch because I did kind of tear him apart. All right, there we go. So there is card number 1 using the free card class templates. Love this. And again, I used Beautiful Motifs, and the paper is the Floral in Bloom. Oh, so I think I might have told you the wrong name at the beginning. Florals in Bloom. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to put the measurements here back for you. I know they're kind of small, so I'll bring them back up to the camera in just a second. I've gotten that feedback before. Again, if you are part of my email list, like, you get all these measurements in advance so that you can be ready. Hey, Carrie. All right, Carrie, what did you get from, oh, I'm shaking a lot. What did you get from the new catalog? Have you placed your first order yet? That's another perk of being a demonstrator, is that you get to order early. So I've actually had these products for about a month. I couldn't get everything, so of course I still have more on my wish list. Hi, Jennifer. Oh, I'm glad you can make it. Thanks for the feedback. I'm glad you're liking my cards. All right, so just as a reminder, these are the measurements of what we're doing. And as I make my next card, I'll show you what each piece is so that you can follow along with me. Because all of you that are watching, remember, the point is you're supposed to be crafting with me. Use your supplies, because you could have used any paper and this would have looked amazing. You could have used any sentiment and it would have worked. All right, so for my next card, I'm using this. It's more messages. Again, I feel like I never have the right sentiment. So when I saw this, I knew I wanted it. It's a little different, and I'm still playing with it and figuring it out. So you can see it's one stamp. It's not a whole bunch of different messages. And then it comes with one die. So I'm going to show you how to use that in a minute. For this one, I am going to use a very vanilla card base. That's 8.5. Oh, I didn't put the measurements on here, but that's 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it in half at 4.25. Hi, Belinda. I think this might be your first time that you've joined my free card class. I'm not recognizing the name, so welcome. All right, and now for my designer series paper, remember I need one that's 3 7/8 by 3 and one that's 1 3/4 by 5.5. And I am using the beautiful gallery paper. I have a feeling this one is going to be my favorite. I'm just gonna pull this out so I can just flip through it some for you. This is actually the paper that I'm going to use tonight. But that one I think is my favorite. But it's all just beautiful landscapes or flowers. Every time I see this one, I think of a napkin. I don't know why. This one gives me that vibe too. So just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful paper. Sorry if I keep showing you the same ones. I'm just randomly flipping. Then on the back, you can see like this one looks like paint strokes. Hi, Darlene, watching from Kentucky. I just did a derby party on Saturday, and I have friends from Kentucky. They were the ones actually throwing it, and they were asking me which horse I wanted to win. And I said, I'm just here for the dress up and the bourbon, to be honest. So I do not know anything about horse racing, but I do enjoy the party. All right, so like I said, I am using this paper, and I wanted 3 7/8 by 3. So all of my other cards, I just cut it. But this one, because it's a scene, I really wanted to make sure I had the right part of the scene. So if you look, this is the right size, but I only pulled out the boats. Okay, so just something to make it a little bit trickier for you. And then the back of that paper was this, and I don't know. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. But I also cut off some of the sky from the top. So I kind of like that as my 1 3/4 by 5.5. And then we need cardstock 4 by 3 1/8. That's a contrasting color from your card base. So I had very vanilla. So I just pulled out Misty Moonlight. And it's so funny now that I'm looking at the Misty Moonlight, which was my favorite blue, it just looks so bland compared to the Secret Sea. All right, so that Misty Moonlight is going to be my mat. Hi, Joan. Coming from Pennsylvania. I'm glad you could make it. Hopefully you are crafting with me. I wish I could come like through my computer and yell at all of you that are just sitting there watching. Although, to be honest, I do the same thing. And then later I'm like, ooh, I remember that card. I want to try something like that. All right, so if this is your first time here, I make 4 cards using the same template. And so I am on card number 2 right now. But I use all different supplies. This one, let's make it fun and just pop it up a little bit. So by the end, hopefully all 4 cards will look completely different to you. And then because it is such a simple layout, my hope is that you can do the same thing. All you need is paper and then any stamp sets that you have. Okay, and that's gonna go right in the center. Okay, and done. So again, that is the basics. Now you can embellish any way you want. So I told you how I'm going to use this More Messages. So what I've done, actually, let me show you what I've done if I can get it handy here. See, if I don't do it in advance, who knows what's going to happen. Oh no, I can't find it. All right, so what I've done is, I'm sorry, I'm just checking one more time. It's so frustrating to have everything laid out in advance and then when you're on it, you can't find it. It's okay, we'll make it work. So I'm going to give you some tips about this because, of course, I've already made these mistakes. I thought because this is about card size that what I could do is I could just take a sheet of paper and cut it into quarters. That does not work. So I actually take it and split it in half. So I'm cutting the long side. So I'm just going to cut it at 5.5. And then for this, you will need a large clear block. I haven't used one of these in forever. Okay. And so what I've already done is I have made I've done this exact thing that I'm about to do for you right now. I've done it in black. I've done it in on white paper. I've done the Secret C on white paper. I've done both of those on cream paper as well. I'm going to do another Secret C on white just because I really do think that this Secret C is going to be my new neutral. Like I might not use black anymore and this might be my new blue. So I'm just going to ink it up. And then, see, you want to stamp it this way, but it won't work. All right, Carrie, I guess that's a good excuse. She says that she would be crafting along, but she's getting her son ready for school. School and mom job should probably come first before crafting, although I'm sure all of us can admit it does not always. All right, so that's what it looks like. Now, what you could be doing, because my first thought was, oh no, what if I am not going to do this every time I want, what happens if I want it on white, but I want it to be red? You can just use your ink and put it on that spot and just have a scrap. I've tried it, it works. All right, so now this, we'll see if I can get it right. Okay, so this lays just like this, and you run it through, and they all come out. And I'm so upset that I can't find it right now. But basically, I have another clear case, and when I cut them out, I just throw them all in there. And it really is driving me nuts that I can't find it. All right, so, but you get the idea. So I have already done that. I took Congratulations. So it's this piece right here. So I took Congratulations and I'm just going to put it there. The reason I chose Congratulations is I felt like this scene looked better with a long sentiment. And I was thinking maybe a good retirement card. I think this would also make a good sympathy card with a different sentiment. Obviously, you wouldn't put Congratulations on it. And then I also like that this is a masculine card, which those are always the challenge for me. You know, I like my flowers and I like to bling things up. Okay, whoop, let's make that a little more straight. There we go, that looks straight. And then, of course, I did bring some bling, but these are the neutrals. And I feel like they give a masculine vibe. I hope you agree, because I do have a masculine class coming at the end of May, and I have used these on it. So hopefully it makes it masculine. I showed it to my husband. He said, sure. which was probably my answer. Okay, there we go. So there's card number 2. So exact same template, very different card. All right, let me get this cleaned up and I will move on to card number 3. And then for if you're just joining, there's the measurements for you too. Yeah, so if any of you get this more messages, I'll be interested to see what you think, because it is a little different. And I just haven't used it enough to decide. I mean, I love all the messages, and I love that I have a bunch stamped already, and I can just open up the case and they're ready. Okay. Let's move to card number 3. So for this one, I'm using Inspiration Squad. And I don't think I posted it on this page. Oh, thanks, Terry. She says, nice cards. I don't think I've posted it on this page. I think I posted it on one of the, like, my team private pages for people that are on the same team. I've used this once already. So it's called Inspiration Squad. And if you don't know, I am a teacher, so love these sayings. Although, of course, more than teachers can use it. And these animals are adorable, but dragons are my school mascot. So I had to have this set when it came out. So I did make a card for every student this week that said, I believe in you, just to get prepared for testing, just to give them a little boost, because I know how stressful it is for them. So adorable set. And then I'm using lemon. Oh gosh, I don't even know, because this color it's not me, but I'll show you why I picked it. So do you remember this beautiful paper that I showed you for the first card? Well, check out the back of one of them. I didn't feel like it was really in line with the other. It had a different vibe. I saw scales right away. Like, I saw reptilian scales, and I thought, oh, that'll go perfect with my dragon. So the reason I picked this is because, remember, your card base, you want it to be that coordinating color. So I've got my card base, and then I've got my designer series paper, 1 3/4 by 5.5. So that's that piece. All right, now I'm going to go a little rogue. So I did use a cardstock 4 by 3 1/8, and I used Pretty and Peacock, because look how good that looks together. But I am not using another piece of designer series paper on top. Instead, I'm going to use a white sheet. So for this piece, I'm just using white paper on this, and I'm going to stamp on it. Okay? So I'm going to use my dragon. For a second there, I was just thinking, maybe for this one I should use a different one of those, because I've only used the dragon so far. And then I thought, nope. The colors are for a dragon, and I know I'm going to use these cards so much. Okay, so I just stamped him down here. Again, camera is in my face, so stamping isn't the easiest thing to do. But, oh, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to use the I Believe in You. And I'm going to do that in Pretty and Peacock. Nope, I'm going to do it in Lost Lagoon. I'm going to bring in a bunch of different greens and teals. Okay, we're going to stamp that right here. I love how it looks like he's looking back at it. And then we're going to color this dragon. So I'm going to get my blends out. I do not have this vibrant green, but I'm going to use Granny Apple Green, and I've got the light one. So I'm just gonna quickly color. I get feedback all the time that I make these cards so fast. So now I'll color, which will slow it down a little bit, give you some time to catch up. I have a 5-year-old niece who is really into crafting. And I love sending her kits. She doesn't live in the same state as me, but I love sending her a kit with a card or two. It has all the supplies, and we make it together on FaceTime. Like, I show her how to do it. Everything's cut and prepped for her. And then these stamps work perfectly because then she can color it in. So it makes her feel like she's doing a little bit more. All right, there we go. And I'm gonna pull out Lost Lagoon. So again, I have made 24 cards already with this sky, and I have done him in purple. I've done him in orange, blue. Like, you name the color, I've done it, and every single one of them has looked cute. It has not mattered. I guess there's just no rules when it comes to what colors dragons can be. Okay, and let's do Old Olive. I've used the light on each one of these. And so you see, I'm not really doing any blending, I'm just coloring. And I forgot part of them, so let's bring that back in. So cute. Okay, now I'm just going to assemble. So on my other cards, again, this was designer series paper, but with a template, there are no rules. You can do it however you want. Okay, and then this is going to go here. Whoops. And I'm going to just glue this one again. Oh, see, I told you. I made sure I was stocked up on glue because that's what happens. There we go. Card number 3. Same template, very different card. So this one's more of like a fun, cutesy card. I am more of a flower, sophisticated. I don't know if that's the right word, but I got to tell you, lately I've been enjoying making the fun, cutesy cards. Those toadstools, the ocean friends, those are starting to change my mind. This dragon's definitely changing my mind. All right, one last card to go. I just got up to get it, and I thought for sure when I did I'd find those more messages, but no such luck. All right, for this card, I am using the new Celebratory Sips bundle. This one's an online exclusive. Here it is a suite. I said bundle, but I meant suite. So here are the papers. My favorite one is hidden. There we go. And then this is the back side of it. So it has the new in colors are definitely featured heavily on this one. And then here is the stamp set. So for this one, I pulled out Berry Burst. This one's gonna have some coloring too. All right. And then this is one of the papers. I'm just gonna glue that down in the middle. So there's this one that has a lot of tiny little drinks. And then there's another one that has, it's a similar pattern, all the same colors, but the drinks are much bigger. So of course, you know, you gotta love the papers that have that, because then you can just fussy cut those things out to put on your cards. You don't even necessarily need the stamp set. Okay, so that's gonna get laid down in the middle. Again, that's the 1 3/4 by 5 1/2. And then I pulled out this piece, which is my 3 7/8 by 3, and I'm putting it on a Blackberry Bliss frame. So that's that 4 by 3 1/8. Oh, there you go. There's the one that has the bigger. So I've definitely made some cards, fussy cutting that out, and I'll show those to you in a minute. There we go, and then we're going to glue that down. And that's going to go right in the middle. Oh, Darlene, I just now see your comment. That's so cute. I'm guessing you're talking about my dragon card. He is an adorable stamp. One of these days, I promise, I will use the lion, and then I can't remember what the other one is. If a lemur, maybe? I already put it away. I promise I'll use those. All right, so there, simple layout. So on the other ones, I use the more neutral as the back and the more vibrant pattern on the front. This one, I did the opposite. That's because I'm going to do more of a stamped image on this one. So I'm going to add more to the front. So that's why I chose that. One of my favorite things about this is it's kind of like paper dolls, Build-A-Bear, however you want to look at it, that I just get to make. I get to stamp and cut and build. And then I also like it because all the pieces are tinier, and for some reason I always end up with scraps this size. And off the top of my head, I can't tell you why, but I have a drawer full of them, and all of these fit on it. So you can see they're on the tinier side. For me, tinier stamps tend to be more of a challenge. And I say that for making card purposes. I like the big, bold designs. All right, with this stamp, there's no center, so you can see how easily it gets distorted. So what I've learned is I lay it down and then I put this on it, because if I try and set it on there, I always have it crooked. Just a little helpful hint for you. I make all kinds of mistakes all the time, so oops, like that. So I like to share what I've learned with you. All right, so I'm going to make this glass. And then I'm going to make, so there's 2 different glasses in here, like the stemless wine glass and the Collins glass. Okay. And then there are these adorable ice cubes. So I'm going to stamp those, but I'm going to stamp them in Blackberry Bliss. Did I already tell you this? This is, for some reason, all of a sudden I'm using this color a lot. So I'm just going to stamp a couple ice cubes into the bottom of this. Look, so cute. I love that. Just that, and I'm happy. All right, and then I want this flower. So again, lots of fun to make all the different drink garnishes. I won't bore you with everything. I just wanted to show you. Well, that didn't stamp very well. Let's try that again. There we go. There are limes, there's like celery stalks, strawberries, blackberries, cherries, rosemary, olives. Like this has it all. Then there's also just this line, which didn't know what that was for. And then I realized, look, I can make the top of my drink. Okay, something else I've learned with this one, because everything is so thin, don't press down too hard. Just stamp it. I'll show you what it looks like when you do it too hard. So on this one, I'll do it. Like if you really squish it, see how it gets all blurry? So you don't want to do that. Yes, Darlene, I agree. I love stealing people's templates and making them completely different, because then they don't even know I stole their card. All right, now I'm going to color. So I'm using Blackberry Bliss. And what I do is I just do the outside. I've got the light one. So I'm just gonna do the outside. And with the blends, the more you cover, the darker it gets. So now I'm gonna color everything. And I'm being super fast and sloppy because I know the amount of time I'm taking of yours. So you'll see the nice one. So can you see how that's much darker? And then of course you could just go around these ice cubes a little bit darker, because where the ice is, of course, it'd be more watery. So that should be a little bit lighter. And then that looks a little extreme. So I'm just gonna kind of blend it in. Okay, so it looks like that. And then I've got Berry Burst out as well. And so this one I'm going to start with the dark, and we'll go around the edge. Okay, and then I'm going to do my light. All right, then there are die cuts for every single thing. So every stamp that you see, every image you see, there is a stamp. And then of course there's these sentiments. So I'm just gonna show you what I've already done just to save you some time. So you can see I've already die cut that out. Although to be honest, for these, it's really easy to fussy cut it. So that might be an option for you. And there is that. Then I also had colored that garnish, and I did a little blackberry. Okay, so then I also took the cheers and I stamped that in the Berry Burst, and then right underneath it I stamped It's Your Day in Blackberry Bliss. So now I'm gonna build all this. Let me get this out of the way. I'm just gonna play with it to see how I like it. Oh, actually I might get lucky and like it this way right away. Or do we want the ice cube showing more? Let's see. Nope, I would want it this way. Nope, I think I liked it the first way. Okay, so we're gonna glue this down. Oh, so Carrie's asking, how do I clean my stamps for that when I use my StazOn ink? So I use the exact same thing as I do with all my stamps. I just use the chamois, so it's just a little bit wet. I just use this, and so while it does stain it, it doesn't stain it in that when I stamp it. So it'll stay it'll stay black. When I pulled these out, they were all already black, but there isn't any color on it, if that makes sense. So if I were to clean it and then put this in a yellow or red, it doesn't impact the color at all. So the stamp will look black, but it doesn't hurt it in any way. Hopefully that answers your question. Whoop. There is a stays on cleaner, but I don't even bother with it. Okay, we'll put cheers down there, and then of course we've got to put this fun stuff in here. I just love that you can build it. But I do wonder if somebody that gets this card, do they know how much time I spent coloring and die cutting? Okay, and then for this one, I'm just going to use a little mini dimensional. There we go. And then because I did use the Berry Burst, it's just a little dark, so it'll be hard to stamp a sentiment. Whoa, that came out fast. I'm just going to put a piece of white cardstock in the middle. All right, so there is card number 4. All right, so I do have a couple things to show you, because if you like this card, that is going to be the focus of my May class. So my May card class to go is going to be where we're using that set to make cards. This one's like a fun pop-up gift card holder. We'll be making these 5 cards. I'll be live 2 weeks from tonight showing you how to make them, and you can order the kit. The kit will include all the cardstock, die cuts prepped for you, 6 sheets of the designer series paper. You'll get 18 of the gems. So everything you need except for the stamps and the ink. I don't think... Yep, I don't have that one in the comments for you, but as soon as I'm done with my live, I will put that in there. And then, of course, oh, and then this is not part of the kit, but if you watch my reel, this is another card I made with it. I'm really liking this set. One more thing to show you. So you can embellish. I made 4 very simple cards, but you can embellish however you want. So here's like a very stepped up version of this same thing. So here's what I did to make this a little different, is that now I've added, can you see I added a frame to this piece too? So just adds another little bit of dimension. I added the ribbon. I added the Spotlight on Nature circle die that just has a little more detail. Of course, I use the same. I told you I love this stem. I'm going to use it all the time. I added some, these are the antique pearls that are on there. And you could do whatever you wanted. So I could have used an embossing folder for this background. I could have stamped a background stamp on it. Like, do what you can with these. This was just the basic template. Embellish, do whatever you want to make it your own. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. I'm seeing them. Again, if you want the supplies to make this kit, it is a free kit with any $35 order in my store. The link is there for you. And I'm going to let you go now so I can go to my team meeting and make even more cards tonight. And hopefully I will see you next Wednesday with another card demonstration, and then 2 weeks from now with the Cheers and Sips card class to go with this one here. All right, I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me tonight.